Well, welcome everyone. My name is Joel Broughton, and I want to welcome a very special guest today, Mr. Greg Gomez+III. Now, Greg has been involved in direct sales since 1996. He got his start at the age of 20 as a telemarketer for a small financial publications company and worked his way to the top of the sales ranks, beating over 80 different agents, many times producing 2 to 3 times more than the rest of the organization combined. After starting his own consulting firm, he continued to use the phone and direct marketing principles as his most relied upon tools for growing multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses. And upon applying these strategies to his next venture, he built an organization that added over 247 people a week in less than 6 months. And with his system, he's closed deals ranging from $295 all the way up to $75,000 without ever needing to meet his clients face-to-face. Now, in 2003, he founded his online training systems dedicated to teaching marketers real-world marketing techniques necessary to grow, an average marketer into a sophisticated and successful marketing and recruiting machine, adding up to 5, 10, 20, even 30 people a week, customers or reps into a business. And to date, his training systems have coached many of the top industry's top money earners within the nation's biggest marketing companies. Despite his tremendous success, Greg's passion has been focused on helping the average home-based business owner learn what it really takes to add dozens of people, customers, into their business every single week as the CEO of Fast Start Marketer. Now, my favorite thing about Greg is that he's going to tell you the truth and give you some strategies on how to win every single time. Greg, thanks so much for being here with us today.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
A lot of times I spend time with, people, and I just ask them, what's one new skill? What's one thing that could impact my business or the business of the listeners today? What's one thing that you could teach that we could take it right now, listen to what you're saying, maybe we listen to it 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times, just over and over to get it inside and internalize it and understand it, but what's one thing that could impact the business today? What would it be? What would we be talking about?
One of the key things I always talk about is how to influence folks. And it comes down to a couple of key factors. One of the things that we talk about, we kind of talked about this beforehand, is kind of manage your own expectations. So influence is really one of the most important skill sets you need to develop. So when you learn how to influence people, I always liken this to Star Wars. Star Wars is a big thing right now. And I always tell folks, if we understand anything about the mythos of Star Wars, there's the good side and there's the dark side, right? Well, the Force, the energy that these Jedi or Sith Lords use to manipulate the universe around them, it's not good or bad. It's indifferent to how you use it. The only thing is it's a very powerful force. It binds us. It surrounds us. Physical, what is it? Spiritual creatures are we, not these, or luminous creatures are we, not these crude physical matter, or whatever Yoda says, something like that. What they're really saying is that it's this force that binds us, right? And we can either use understanding of how to manipulate this force for good, or we can use this force for evil, right? It's up to the individual user. Influence is that way, right? People desperately, secretly want to have a better quality of life. They're just afraid to, A, share those fears or concerns with people because they don't know if they can trust you with that information. And B, they don't know that they truly can achieve a better quality of life. A lot of times people just kind of sit and suffer in silence. So in their prayers, and I mean, think about it. How often have you found yourself praying at night for being relieved from a situation or meditating and just really being, overwhelmed and just wanting to be rescued from a certain situation? There's nothing wrong with that. That's a human condition. We all experience that. So when I say that, I say to you that there are thousands, tens of thousands of people out there, millions, who are secretly, desperately praying for you to help them. They just don't know who you are. They haven't identified you yet. Influence, in its purest, best form, is really about breaking down the walls of skepticism, breaking down the walls of resistance, so they can truly hear your desire to help them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So can you break it down for us a little further? I mean, how is it
Sure.
that we can use influence in our business, obviously, to influence our customers to buy our product or service, or to come to us for advice, or how is it that we can kind of implement that?
I tell folks there's three major steps to it. First thing, you got to start with managing your own expectations. Okay, so I said this before, I'm going to say it again. What we expect when we get on the phone or when we reach out to somebody, whether it's conscious or unconscious, subconscious, we're expecting to get a sale. We want to get a sale. Oh my gosh, this person might sign up. This is going to be great. They're going to sign up. They're going to want to sign up their family and friends, and it's going to be great, right? That expectation's wrong. We're putting a false expectation on them, and that's coming out subconsciously through the way we move, the way we talk, the tone in our voice. There's two ways people communicate with each other. I'm not going to go on a big tirade on this, but just know that there's two ways people communicate. There's the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious is the actual words that we use, and the subconscious, so it's the context of it, and then the subconscious is the actual the underlying aspects. So I can say, hi Joel, how are you today? I'm feeling fantastic. And because of the way that's being delivered, that doesn't sound very good. But I also could say, hey Joel, how are you doing, man? I'm fantastic, right? And people can perceive that's probably a little bit true. That's a little more true because of the energy. Man, I'm so good. Here's what happened. Blah 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 blah. Okay, great. We believe that, right? So when we're going in there expecting a sale, then people are going to feel that pressure. And their natural reactions are going to be resistant to it. So you're creating skepticism that way. What we should expect is that we're looking to find the truth. That's it. Our only expectation is, I hope to provide this person enough information, just enough information, so that they know, like, and trust me enough to tell me their truth. That's it. I'm just trying to uncover their truth. That's all I'm looking for. Whether they want it or don't want it, I don't care, right? Whether they're giving me an objection or an obstacle, or I don't have time now, that's fine. That's totally cool. Hey, and this might not even be for you, Joel. It's totally fine if you don't want it. It's just that I was calling because you told me this thing in the past, and I thought maybe I'd have something that could help you out with it. Is that something you want help with, or are you okay with where you are? No, I'm fine where I am. Okay, great, thanks. No problem. That's it. All I was looking for was that, that initial response.
Okay, so let me stop you right there. Sorry, I just want to clarify that my expectation of wanting to get that sale is misguided. Really, what I should be doing is trying to find out, like you're saying, whether it's a yes or a no. Whether the customer, whether I can actually help them, whether they want my product or service, instead of me wanting to just sell it to them. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so when we change it, and that's also good for us, because then that relieves all the pressure from us, too, to have to sell, right? Because now maybe we have these external things like, oh, I've been spending money on this, and now my spouse is getting upset. I better go bring some money in. I'm going to go get a sale right now, right? You can't do that. You got to let that go. One has nothing to do with the other. And that's what we put on our prospects. We put that expectation on them of, hey, you need to buy because my wife's pissed. Well, what the heck does that have to do with me? That's a self-centered marketing process. Instead, I can feel those pressures, and that's fine, but the reality is I have to leave those at the door because they'll be there when I come out of my office. But in the meantime, I got to go out there and just find folks, is there somebody I can help? Hey, here's what we do. This is what it does. Would that help you? No, I'm good. Okay, great. Yeah, and again, that's fine. The only reason I was giving you a call is because I was under the impression that you had this condition or this situation, and I thought maybe this could help you. Is that true, or are you satisfied with where you are now? I'm satisfied. Okay, great, thanks. Move on. Next person. I give them 2 shots, and that's it, right? Okay. So that's managing our expectations. And here's a big key through managing expectations. You want to make sure that you're okay with being told no. You got to be okay with being told no. But we should always go for the yeses, and no, it's okay. Most folks are going to tell you no, and you have to be okay with it. It's totally fine. When somebody says no, they're not saying no to you as an individual. They're saying no to your offer. So don't take it personally. It's okay. Case in point, if Joel came to me right now, and if you guys know anything about me, I'm a bald-headed dude. Mother Nature tried taking my hair when I was younger, and I said, well, 2 can play at that game, so I'm winning. Anyways. So if Joel came to me right now and said, hey, I've got the best hairline products you're ever going to want, dude, you got to use this product. I love Joel. Joel's great. You're awesome, dude. What are you doing? I don't have any hair. Right? No, I don't want that. What are you, silly? Stop being dumb. And that's it. It's nothing about him personally. It's just his offer's no good for me. It doesn't work. Now, if he came to me and said, hey, dude, I got this all-natural product, grows hair like a son of a gun. You got to try it. Give me 2, I'll say. Right? And we can go from there. Because that's something that I have an interest in. And he's coming to, now if he came to the table, hey, I don't know if you're trying to regrow your hair. The truth is I actually prefer to be bald. He says, hey, I have this thing. It actually is really good at growing hair. were you interested in growing hair back, or are you fine with where you are now? I actually, I don't mind having more hair, but I'm also okay being bald, and I'm not big on doing, I'm not going to do the surgeries and that kind of stuff. I think that's too much. I would never do that. Okay, cool. Well, I have this thing that's all natural that might be able to help you regrow your hair. Would that help you? Would that be something you'd be interested in taking a look at? Yeah, I actually would be interested in that. What do you got? All right, tell you what, grab a pen and a piece of paper. I'll get you the details. Completely different context, completely different framing, completely different pressure, no expectation, and that works really, really well. I could have said no, but I was open to it. He found my truth, right? That's the key to managing expectations. The other thing that I always tell folks then is yes momentum. Now, this is Jedi influence. This is cool. This is, if you're going to listen to anything over and over and over again, listen to this because this is the best part. So in my years of study of sales psychology, I found very few things that are as consistent as this concept I'm about to share with you here. So what I've uncovered in a lot of my street smarts, there's this thing called neuro-linguistic programming, and you can use words to manipulate people to do what you want. These aren't the droids you're looking for, yada, yada. There's some truth to that, but it's actually based in what I call yes momentum. So the concept is this. You want to get 3 to 5 yeses before you ask for a commitment. Write that down. You want to ask, unless you're driving. If you're driving, don't drive. Write this down. You want to get 3 to 5 yeses before you ask for some type of small commitment. Okay? So, Joel.
Yes.
There's my first yes, right? Okay, second yes. We've known each other for quite some time now, right? It's been years, right?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, several years, man. I can't remember when it was. We've talked a lot. We've gone through a lot of stuff together. You've told me a lot about your business stuff. I've told you a lot about my business stuff.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, man?
Sure.
All right. I've got this thing I've got coming up. I'm not sure if it's going to be for you, but if I think it could be something that could work in alignment with what you're doing. Would you be able to give me 15 minutes so I could show you how to get it done, or show you what I'm working on?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Cool. So we've got 3 to 5 yeses. Great. Tell you what, grab a pen and a piece of paper. Let me get you some details.
Wow, I wasn't even really paying attention, and you got 3 to 5 yeses from me before you started talking about anything. I wasn't I was paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to what you were doing just now, and you actually got agreements out of me already. During our conversation. That's pretty crazy.
Another way we could do it too is so we call that a gap. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Are you at a computer? Yes, I am. Can you get to a computer? Are you near a computer? Is another. I'm sitting right at it. Okay, great. There's all kinds of different ways you can frame that so that you can get your 3 to 5 yeses. One of my favorite ways to call folks is I say ring, ring, and you answer the phone. Okay, Joel? Ready? Ring, ring.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, Joel?
Yes.
Okay. That's not a telemarketer. That's somebody saying, hey, Joel? Yeah, this is Joel. Hey, Joel, this is Greg Gomez calling from my offices here in Phoenix, Arizona. How are you? Blah, 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 blah. Versus ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, may I speak to Mr. Broughton, please?
Speaking.
Who may I ask is calling? What is this in regards to? Immediately, you're a telemarketer, and I'm going to shoot you in the face like a zombie with my double-barrel shotgun, right?
Yeah, I gave you the delay. I wasn't sure if I was going to say yes or not.
Yeah, all kinds of resistance, all kinds of negativity. That counteracts yes momentum. So the key is you want to get your yeses early, frequent, 3 to 5 yeses, and before you ask for a commitment. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about are what I call comprehension questions. Have you ever heard about comprehension questions, Joel?
I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to see.
Not sure. That's a no. See, I got a no. So, okay, cool. So I get to teach you about comprehension questions for the first time. That's really neat. Okay, cool. So a comprehension question is a question that you ask that gets somebody to confirm their understanding or comprehension of what it is you just said. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. Do you see how that works?
Yeah. I think I naturally use those already too. Does that make sense?
A lot of people do. A lot of people do, and here's where I challenge even professional speakers. I go in and I charge out the wazoo to coach some of the best sales teams in the world. Yes, momentum and comprehension questions. I just beat the tar out of the sales guy and say, does that make sense? Do you see how that works? Is that clear? Do you see where I'm coming from? Right? And when they do that, their numbers go up. They change nothing else in their scripts. Nothing. I guarantee, I don't care how good as a salesperson you are, and I'm talking to you, Joe, everyone here, you're not using them often enough. You're not. And when you measure that, you can measure it, but I've just seen I've aggregated massive amounts of data, phone rooms and all the different stuff we've done. When we beat into our sales associates or to our strategists, go do, does that make sense? Do you see how that works? Is that clear? Don't always have to say, does that make sense? You can use several different ways. Am I clear? Are we on the same page now? Do you see how that works now? Does that work better for you as an understanding? Yes, yes, yes. They all work as yes-based questions. But more importantly than that, they also make sure that that person is with you in the conversation, because a confused mind doesn't buy. A confused mind does not buy. If they're confused and you ask them, hey, does that make sense? And we just want to hear what we want to hear, and they say, yeah, I guess. Okay, great, and you keep going, you're killing there's no chance you're going to get that sale. None. You have to stop. Well, no, hold on, Joel. You don't sound 100% there. Do you really understand it, or do you want me to go over it again? No, I do get it. It's just that blah, 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 blah. And they give you an objection. Oh, okay. I can certainly understand how you feel that way. That happens a lot. Let me explain that. Now, I fixed it now. I don't get objections on the back end of stuff. I fix them here. Comprehension question, first key to that. So very, very powerful thing. All right. Final thing for yes momentum. Ask yes-based questions. I asked a second ago, have you ever heard me ask you about or explain comprehension questions? And Joel wanted to say no, but he resisted it because he's a sweet guy. But he said, I don't believe so, right? He was being polite. The real, that's a no. That's another form of no. What I should have asked is, I'm not sure if I've shared comprehension questions with you. Can I share the definition of what I consider a comprehension question with you, Joel? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. So now we've gotten to the same result, but I've gone through a yes versus a no, right? So whatever question you want to ask, can it be answered no to? And if that's the case, how can you ask it another way that you can get a yes? So what I used to hear a lot was, common salesperson's deal is, hey, so you don't want to waste money on your business, right? You don't want to waste money in your telecommunications, or you don't want to waste money on unnecessary health bills, right? No, I don't want to waste money on my health bills, right? No, you don't want to waste money on health products. No, I don't want to waste money on health products. Who wants to waste money on the health product? I don't want to waste money. That's a no. Don't ask it that way. A better way would be, who wants to save money on their health products? Let me ask you a question. If you could save up to 15 to 50% on what you're doing now versus your current costs, would that help? I mean, is that something you're looking to do? Oh, yeah. Right? Versus,
yeah, absolutely.
You'd like to, I mean, are you tired of wasting? Well, that's still, see, I can't even help it. I constantly ask yes questions. What's the way to ask that? I have to actually think about how to create the no question. The point is, ask them in a yes format. Does that all make sense, Joel?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it does. Cool.
There's your comprehension question again.
Yep, always. I constantly use them. What's great about this, if you want to practice this, you don't have to wait for prospects. Practice on your spouses. Practice on your kids. Yes momentum with them. Kids are sitting watching television. You want to get them to take out the trash. You say, oh, you're watching Teen Titans Go, huh? And the kid's like, yeah. Oh, this is a funny episode. Is this a new episode, or have you seen this one before? I've seen it before. Oh, this is good. Oh, is that Beast Boy? Yeah, it is. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, is this a commercial right now? Yes, it is. Right? We know the answer to all this stuff. Great. Hey, do this before the show comes back on. Go take the trash out real quick so you can get back to it before the show starts back up. Okay. Pop right up and they'll go do it. They will. My wife is immune, so don't try it on my wife, because she's lived with me for I don't know how long, many years. It's been 20 years now. And bottom line is that she's the only person I've ever met that's impervious to it. She'll literally call me out on it. Say, stop giving me yes momentum. No, the answer is no. What do you want? Oh, honey, how did you know? Final thing I'll talk about here is the commitment crescendo on the 3 key elements. So we've talked about managing your own expectations. We talked about yes momentum. And now I always like to talk about commitment crescendo. Now, the commitment crescendo is we start by asking for small forms of compliance, and then we escalate bigger and bigger. So what's a crescendo? Crescendo in music is that build-up, like, we were talking about metal earlier. So in Metallica's One, it builds up, right? It's this nice soft guitar, and then it goes into dun, 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 and it gets this nice little build-up. And then you go to the part where it starts really getting heavy, like, right? And you just can't help, but if you're listening to this, especially live, they're awesome live, you just start small and smooth, and it's great, and then you build up. Another example of a great song like that is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Probably one of the best examples of crescendo build-up. Starts off small, playing the piano, and then no, and then it goes in right, that big build-up. It's great. Okay, metal. So this gets us energy built up, and we're excited. We can't help but jump out of our seats and pretty much start moshing in the pit. If you're into that kind of thing, I don't know. Well, we can do the same thing in sales. We can do the same thing in influence. And how we do that is, so I called Joel. Ring, ring. Joel says, hi. I say, hey, Joel. Yeah, this is Joel. Hey, Joel, this is Greg Gomez, calling from my office here in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, I was calling because I saw here that you were a home-based business owner out of your local area. Are you still doing the home-based business thing? And he says, yes, I am. Okay, great. The reason for my call is I contact business owners like yourself who are maybe actually showing them a way that they can actually start to improve the performance of the business. Is, hey, we're doing this thing right now that's helping local business owners like yourself learn how to use the power of Google to attract more clients. Is your business looking for more clients? Could you use more clients in your business right now? Yeah, I could. Okay, great. It's not going to, and then I'm immediately going to go into a managing expectation, because the next immediate thought is, what's it going to cost me? Actually, it's not going to, and I know what you're thinking, what's it going to cost me? It's actually designed not to cost you anything out of pocket directly. In fact, the way it's designed is to actually increase revenue without any out-of-pocket expense. If you qualify, I'm not sure. So let me ask you a question. If I could show you a way that you could do that, would that be worth about 3 to 5 minutes right now to figure out if you're qualified? Okay, now look at the commitment. Would that be worth 3 to 5 minutes of your time now to learn if you're qualified? I'm not asking you for money. I'm not trying to sell you anything. You may not be qualified. I'm pushing you away. You may not be good enough for this, right, is what I'm subconsciously saying. Do you have 3 to 5 minutes right now that we could go over that? And the natural answer should be?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Do this. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Let me get you the details, get you some information, and we'll see if you're going to be good enough for this, or you see if you qualify. All right?
Yeah, and I almost feel like I want to be qualified now.
Well, and that should be the nature, right? That's the nature of it, is that you want to be. We don't like being told we're not good enough. It's the velvet rope technique, right? You're waiting in line to give me money as a business, but I'm going to make you wait outside the velvet rope, so that if people that are good enough get to pass the velvet rope, you're not good enough to come in yet, so you wait outside the velvet rope, right? That's a huge psychological play for getting folks to say, well, I want to be worthy. We can't help it. It's the cat's curiosity that we all have in us. We want to know what's on the other side of that. And just by the fact that I'm in and somebody else is out makes the experience that much pleasurable, because, I'm good enough, right? We're validated. It's human nature. Anyway. So the first thing I qualified for was time, 3 to 5 minutes, right? Would that be worth that much time to you? Would you value it that much? That is an exchange. That's a monetary exchange. I'm asking, I'm going to give you information. You're going to give me time. That's the exchange. Is that worthwhile? Yes, it is. Great. We just committed our first transaction. You just closed. Congratulations. Good deal, right? Now, my next close is, great, in order to qualify for the results of the close, go grab a pen and a piece of paper. Let me get you all the details. Okay? Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Okay. And they're complying now. So that's a small little next step up. So we asked for time. Now we're asking for small movement. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Okay? Now they've got the pen and piece of paper. Okay, great. Before we get started, write my name down. Joel, my name's Greg Gomez. The third. Yes, there's 2 others of me out there. It's crazy. I'm calling here from Phoenix, Arizona. You can always reach me in my office. My direct line is blah, 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 blah. And I like to give my phone number here so they feel like they've got something to hold on to, right? Okay, great. Now, let me ask you a few questions to make sure that you're qualified. Now, I'm going to go into 3 to 5 qualifying questions, okay? I've given you something. Now you're going to give me something. Make sense? I'm going to ask you, how long you've been, what kind of business you run in? Awesome. How long you've been doing it? How's it going? What kind of results are you getting? Are you satisfied with those results? I mean, what are your plans with this? Well, I'm looking to achieve blah, 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 blah. Okay. Have you ever used Google before? I know the answer to that. Let me ask you a question, Joel. If I can show you what you can get back on Google, and you can start using the power of the Internet to be able to blah, blah, blah. So I'll ask several different questions, getting information from them, and then every time I ask a question, I'll try to, every third question, give some value. I'll talk about that at another time. Long story short, according to this information, hey, man, yeah, you're a perfect candidate for this, Joel. I think you'd be a perfect fit for what we're looking to do here. We have a conference call that's going to be starting here in the next few minutes. It starts at the half-hour mark. All right, starts in the, what time is it? What time is it there where you are, Joel? Just pick a time. I don't care.
Oh, you asking me? Yeah.
4 minutes.
Sometimes you answer for me, sometimes you don't.
4 minutes to the top of the hour. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, great. So we have a conference call starting actually at the top of the hour, okay? It's about 45 minutes long, and be honest about this. Don't tell them. And try to pick numbers that are not rounded. Pick numbers that are off round, if it makes sense. So it's 47 minutes long versus 45. That's more believable. It's 47 minutes long, and it's getting started here in a couple minutes. Do you have 47 minutes now that you can learn how to be able to actually implement this and get this going for yourself? If the answer is yes, that's a longer time frame. We're asking for a longer time frame. Okay? Make sense? So recap. Time. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Information. Right? Qualifying. Longer time is the next one. So now we're doing 45 minutes. Longer time. Now, after they've gone off of that longer time frame, they call back. There's a follow-up call. They've called you back, or whatever that next step is, the follow-up process. So they get back together. If they agree to get back together, that means they're interested. If they show up for getting back together, they can agree before they find out how much it costs. But once they get there, now they've come back. Now we're going to start talking about money, right? And that's when we can close. That's where we can actually start to go through and provide the value exchange for the money. But note that it starts small. It's just 3 to 5 minutes. Then it's grab a pen and a piece of paper. Then it's give me information, pretty personal information typically. Then it's asking for more time. Then it's asking for a call back. I'm going to set you out in the world, and I'm going to expect you to call me back, and they do. And then it's answering questions and handling objections. I'm looking for their truth. I'm trying to overcome their fears and their concerns. And once I have that, once I've uncovered their truth, now I can ask for money. And once I have that, that's it. You know, we can go on bigger from there. I've trained sales reps right now that are doing this truth concerns. That are doing this right now in our programs and our coaching systems that are #1 recruiters in the company, and all their uplines are they're just completely, you know, flabbergasted as to how this guy is out-routing everybody. And what he's doing is he's getting all people to come in at one lower level in their program. And then he creates an irresistible offer for an upsell to the next level. So even after he gets their first sale, most people would be ecstatic for that. He says, "Hey, let me ask you a serious question. You know, I work with 2 types of entrepreneurs. There's those folks trying to get their toe in the water, and those folks that are really looking to go full gambit and get the full, you know, they're 100% committed to taking that big, massive jump. Are you that committed to making that big, massive jump in your life?" "Yeah, I am." "Okay. Can I make a suggestion? Our most successful students are doing this." And then he'll suggest the upsell. And folks are taking it because they want to be that committed, right? They've already started that crescendo. They've already started that momentum. Now they're ready to take that big upsell or the next level to really show their 100% buy-in. And that's the commitment crescendo. That's how we get it going. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to maybe if you can say that sentence again, because I think a lot of people listen to the words and really need it to sink in. There's a lot of mannerisms and a lot of things that you say that I think are very specific and intended because of the way you're saying it. Can I make a suggestion? Right? Can I make a suggestion rather than, you know, so you're moving them to the upsell. Our most successful students are doing this, so you're planting, obviously, and maybe you can talk about that a little bit, but you're planting, obviously, in their head that if they want to be one of the most successful students, they will also follow, you know, that path. Is that
exactly?
Is that a good analysis?
And again, we're still following our same rules. It's not mandatory you do this, but can I offer you a suggestion? Yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know the answer to that. We're following that same process. So we presuppose this entire offer, the secondary offer, by saying, you know, by determining their level of interest, their commitment. Because some people are coming in, and they are, in all sincerity, they're just kind of getting their feet wet. They're like, you know what, I really want to do this. I'm hopeful that this will be good, but I'm still really skeptical. I'm going to do it, but I want to see how this works out, right? So they're in like a buy and see type of mode. That person may not necessarily be motivated to take the bigger upsell. So we say, hey, we say it up front. Some people just want to get their feet wet and kind of get started and just see where it goes for them in the first place. That's totally fine. There's other folks we talk to that are 100% committed, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get big results. So I'm going to ask you, which are you? Are you just kind of wanting to get in and just see what it is, or do you really want to make you really want to make a real go of this? And I'm getting a gauge of their commitment level, and they'll say, no, I'm in. This is awesome. I can't wait. This is fantastic. How do I, And mind you, this is after we've gotten their first commitment, right? They are in for the first entry-level product. They're good, right?
And it makes me feel, you know, just listening to you again, it makes me feel like, do I want to be a member or do I want to be a VIP?
Exactly. So if that's the case, no, I'm 100% committed. Okay, great. Can I make a suggestion then? Okay. Our most successful people who are in this track actually make an additional decision. It's not mandatory you do it, but however, our most successful members, clients, team members, whatever it is you're phrasing that, they take the all-in group, the all-in package. And here's what it is. It includes blah, 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 and blah, right? What we provide is we provide this support, that support in addition to that. So we talk about, we build up the value in that. And it's only X more dollars than what you've invested so far. Let me ask you, do you want to get started with where you are now, or do you want to make the full-in commitment and get all the extra support and really achieve your goals faster? Have the potential to achieve your goals even faster? No, I'm all in. Let's do it. Okay, great. His close ratio is about 75% into the upgrade rate. The only reason they won't take the bigger package is if they don't have the money. That's the only issue. It's the only issue. So typically he does a good enough job on qualifying them to that point so that once they do get there, he knows pretty much for the most part he's getting everybody up. And that's why he kicks everybody's butt in his group. I mean, he's the other next closest person is like 13 people back. Wow. It's just insane. And it's all because of this small commitment. He knows and has mastered how to do the commitment crescendo. So, again, to recap, manage your own expectations. Don't go in there expecting to get to that sell level on the end. That's for your prospect to reveal and to let themselves step into that. Yes momentum. 3 to 5 yeses before you ask for a commitment. Ask comprehension questions. Ask yes-based questions. And then the commitment crescendo. Time. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Qualifications. Information. Longer time. The callback. Get their truth. Get their concerns. Do a small money and then a bigger money. And that's how you influence folks. That pretty much right there is, what I charge up to $75,000 for folks to actually come forward.
So again, thanks so much, Greg, for sharing your time, your expertise with us. I'm so grateful to have you here, and thanks again.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to be. I always close with, you could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to spend that time with us here. It is appreciated, and I hope that we honored that and gave you some great value today. So thanks, Joel. I always appreciate you sharing me with your guys.
Right on. Thanks a lot, and have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.